Nilesh, can you please share the PPT?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
can start the
Yes.
program now. Yes.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Kavita uh, from Oculus, a clinical secretary, and I welcome one and all the stalwarts from all over Pune and all over Maharashtra, and even our guest speakers. So we start this IMA MSWTW in association with AMOX Public Awareness Committee and AMOX Sexual Health Committee, Life Beyond Medicine. This is the part 5 which we are playing. And we are going to talk about positive relationships and sexual health for doctors. It is co-sponsored by Corona and it will be a live webinar.
Next slide,
So,
please.
Next slide.
Kavita, actually,
This is
yeah,
my
you
slide
should
here.
also be formally introduced. So I had asked Mr. Nilesh to introduce you. So let's,
Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
complete the
Yeah, I'm the
formality.
consultant. Yes, I am the
Yeah, he
consultant
will
at
introduce
Oculus.
you. Yeah.
Oh,
So
great.
our
Yeah.
Thank you.
our
Yes.
MOC for today's webinar is Dr. Kavita Kamble. Let me introduce Madam. Madam has done MBBS from Pravara Medical College, DGO from Mumbai University. Madam is currently practicing as high-risk obstetrician and gynecologist since last 15 years at Krishna Cardiac Maternity Care. And Madam is also director of upcoming Nirmiti IVF Center at Karmala. President Women's Wing IMA Karmala from 2023 to 2024. President Karmala Medicos Guide 2020 to 2021. And Clinical Secretary AOGS from 2023 and 2024. Also, Madam has received various awards
Thank
in
you. Sir, we
society.
can. Yes, thank you
So,
so much, sir.
welcome, Dr. Kavita Kamble, Madam.
Yes, yes. So, trust, respect, cooperation, and understanding. These are the most important factors for any relationship. Today, as we talk about positive relationship, we are going to listen from the stalwarts about all this. We will also know about trust because it is important, and one person has to feel safe and secure in that relationship. And so, trust is the basic thing of positive relationship. We'll learn more about it from the stalwarts. Also, as 4th September, we just celebrated the World Sexual Health Day. And the awareness about this is the same we are going to celebrate today. And the same celebration is going on for the awareness of it. People used to be like earlier, people didn't talk about sexual, as we have just listened to Mane sirs also saying the same thing. The adolescent health is also important, but adult sexual life was discussed a bit less. And with this awareness committee associating with the sexual committee is going to be a boom for all of us, and it will give us more knowledge about the sexual rights, the sexual beliefs, the sexual justice, and above all, the pleasure which is there in the sexual relationship. So without wasting time, we go for the inauguration and we play the inauguration slide. I request all the stalwarts for the e-lightning ceremony, Dr. Kurtukaki sir and Dr. Thakre sir also for the same. I would now request my conveners, Dr. Revati Rane and Dr. Madan Kamble sir, to take on from this. To introduce Dr. Revati Rane, we all know her smiling face and her very enthusiastic spirit. Dr. Revati is a director of a 100-bedded hospital at a multi-specialty hospital, Apex, at Oculus. She is working as an high-risk obstetrician since last 11 years. She is the director of the first IVF center at Oculus, Test Tube Baby Center, and she has various accolades to her name.
Yes. Thank you,
Also,
Kavita. Thank you.
yes,
Thank you. Yeah.
yes. And our
So,
next co-convener, yes, you can. And
yeah.
should I?
So I would
Yeah.
like
And
to
next,
say a few words. Yeah. After that. Yeah. Okay. You introduce, sir. No problem.
yeah. Our next co-convener, Dr. Madan Kamble sir, we all know him as another enthusiast from Oculus Society who is doing very well in this as a chairperson of Oculus Orbs Gynae Society. He was the president of Oculus Orbs Gynae Society and sir is the chairperson of AMOG's Sexual Medicine Committee. Sir has been a national coordinator for FOXI Sexual Health and STI Committee. He's also a member of CSFI and ISR.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
welcome Dr. Madan Kamble sir for the same.
Thank you, Kavita. I would like to say a few words before we go ahead with the session. As I am a Women Wing IMS chairman and AMOG's Public Awareness Committee chairperson. I welcome you all for the 5th part of Life Beyond Medicine. As you all have always blessed us with your presence and everyone has really liked and appreciated Life Beyond Medicine series. We have till date done physical health, mental health, financial health, and legal health was the last health that I had covered. I'm going to end my tenure as a IMA WTWMS chairman in November. So I have 2 more months left and I'll try to, continue this series at least till now and hope to, continue this series because everyone is appreciating it. So in some or other form, as 4th September is celebrated as Sexual Health Awareness Day and this whole month is celebrated. So we all know that we take webinars for, teaching the scientific part of it for gynecologists, cosmetic gynecologists, and we feel and we say that sexual health is something that is tabooed, not talked about, and not in general public, also in doctors, and we focus on our physical health, mental health, and finances also. But this is something that we take for granted in our relationship, may it be in various aspects. So at the outset, I want to thank AMOG's Sexual Health Committee Chairperson, Dr. Madan sir, for getting associated with this webinar and our esteemed speakers for today. I would really like to say that we had a very good conversation with Prasanna sir and Rao sir also, that what we expect from this webinar. That is something I really want to appreciate at the outset because he wanted to tell me what I expect from this webinar so that that message should be clear for all the doctors. So I request everyone to please, be attentive and I'm hoping for an excellent feast. So thank you. Over to you, Kavita.
Yes.
Madan sir, will you say a few words?
Yeah, Madan sir would say some words.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, all the respected faculties and guests. Myself, as the chairperson of AMOG Sexual Health Committee, every year 4th September is celebrated as World Sexual Health Day. And theme for this 2024 is positive relationships. As we all know, the sexual health is important aspect of our life, and we all together can raise the awareness, reduce the stigma, and improve the access to essential sexual health services. And I'm happy and thankful to IMA as well as my AMOGs, especially Kiran sir and all the office bearers of AMOGs for this opportunity and to be part of this wonderful program. And thank you, and I welcome all the dignitaries of today's program. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Revati, also for adding so much to the awareness program. It gives me immense honor to introduce Dr. Dinesh Thakre sir and Dr. Kiran Kurtokati sir as our chief guest.
Hello. It's my honor to introduce our chief guests today, who are pillars of strength of these immensely important organizations that we all are working for and look forward to and up to. First our chief guest is Dr. Dinesh Thakre sir, who is a pathologist and LLB lawyer. He has done international certificate course in UNESCO Bioethics, MA in Journalism and Mass Communication, MBA in General Management, BA in English Literature, and member of the Steering Committee, World Medical Association and Associate Membership in 2020-22, National Secretary, IMA Hospital Board of India 2022-24, and President, IMA Maharashtra State 23-24. Sir has been on various, you can see, various eminent posts in IMA and other. Yeah, thank you, sir. So we look forward to your guidance. Welcome,
yes,
sir.
Yes. So once again, WW is back. Dr. Kiran Kurtakoti sir, I missed you last time. Then our guest of honor, our senior VP of IIM Maharashtra, Dr. Vijayanti Patodhan madam, Secretary IIM Maharashtra, Saurabh Sanjanwala, Vikrant Desai, Treasurer IIM Maharashtra, Dr. Bipin Pandit sir, Dr. Ameya Purandare sir, and all the dignitaries and speakers for today's webinar. You know, women are known for two things. One is multitasking and other is nurturing. Now we have seen them doing both these things very proficiently, you can say. Now, as far as multitasking is there, you can see how they manage all the things to do at one time. And second is nurturing. It is the specific domain I can see. And WW committee this time is proving, because according to the WHO definition, health means well-being, that is social, mental, and physical. WW has taken care of not only of these three healths, but also financial and legal. So I think this is sort of nurturing that is provided by WW to all of us, all members of AMOGS and IMA. We are rather thankful and happy that we got such a team this year. And surely, as Revati ma'am was saying, that she will be coming up with 2 more webinars. And I am sure that she will find 2 more healths that again will prove very beneficial to us. And again, as I said, will be a part of nurturing, and that is the domain of men. And we are really proud and feel great that yes, something that is needed is done by the best possible, and the who can do and who have the authority on it. So I request Revati madam to go ahead for such programs. And again, tying up with the AMOGS is a prestigious thing. It is honor for IMA also that we have come together on such topics which otherwise we don't speak up in AMOGS or in IMA. I will request that this collaboration should go ahead, and such topics, that is life beyond medicine, that we are discussing today, positive relationship and sexual health for doctors, very needed and ignored topic. Very happy to have Dr. Prasanna Gadre sir talking on positive relationship in doctor's lives, and Dr. T.S.S. Rao sir, lifestyle and sex. So please go ahead, and of course, IIMA Maharashtra is with you in this endeavor. Whatever you need, we are there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for those words of support and encouragement. I would like to introduce our next chief guest, Dr. Kiran Kurtakoti sir, President AMOGS 2024-26. Sir has been chairperson of
It's
MCT.
okay. Revati is all fun, done. Well,
Sir,
well, today's
welcome, sir.
today's chief guest, Dr. Dineshji Thackeray, and of course all the guests of honors, Dr. Bipin Pandit, Ameya Purandare, Dr. Sanjanwala, Dr. Santosh Kadam, Dr. Vikrant Desai, today's conveners, Dr. Revati and Madan, and of course the MOC, Kavita Kamble. Well, somebody mentioned about relationships. They are built on trust, respect, and response. So I fully agree with that. And as a matter of fact, when Dr. Revati Rane approached, I approached her to be the chairperson of the PSC committee. Dr. Revati told me that, sir, at this time I would also be the chairperson of the WD committee of IMA, and तुम्हाला IMA बरोबर association केलं तर चालेल का? So that was the question that she asked me, because many a times those programs will overlap with the IMA program. I said, go ahead, no problem at all. Amox is always open for all kind of new positive relationships. And the trust that has been built between Dr. Revati, between Amox, I think it will continue in the future also. IMA ला अजून एक गोष्ट आहे, संतोष या नावाबद्दल खूप प्रेम दिसतंय मला. Because the incoming president, I guess, is again Dr. Santoshji Kadam. So I expect, hope, wish and pray that when Dr. Santoshji Kadam also becomes the president, this relationship will continue. And when the next either of the Santosh also join or become elected, that time also we will be having a good tie-up with IMA. So thank you, Dr. Revati. And as a matter of fact, today we have got two stalwarts. One of my childhood friends, Dr. Prasanna is there, and of course Dr. Rao. I heard Dr. Rao the other day also, and his talk was just fabulous, fantastic. And thank you, Dr. Revati, for introducing Amox to Dr. Rao and to Dr. Gadre. So with this much ado, I think I would request all of you to get over with the program, and my best wishes always with Dr. Revati, Dr. Kavita, and everyone, and Madan also, and with IMA. We have another stalwart from Pune who has, although she has joined on behalf of IMA, but then again she is a very strong POGS member, treasurer of POGS, Dr. Vaijanti also. So in all, my best wishes to you for the program, and I would really look forward to what Dr. Gadre and Dr. Rao would be enlightening us on the aspect of relationships. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Very nicely put and very nice twist on positive relationship. I hope this relationship continues, IMA and Amox. So looking forward to it. Over to you, Kavita, for the next introductions.
Today we have more stalwarts adding to this evening. The guest of honor, Dr. Bipin Pandit sir, who is the Honorary Secretary General at Amox. Dr. Amay Purandare sir, Senior Vice President Amox. Dr. Saurabh Sajjanwala sir, from Honorary Secretary IMA. Dr. Santosh Kadam sir, President-elect of IMA. And Dr. Vikrant Desai, the Honorary Treasurer IMA. I would like to introduce everyone, read out the biodata of Dr. Bipin Pandit sir. Sir has been the President-elect Council member of Maharashtra Medical Council. He has been a Vice President FOXI 2021 to 22, past President Amox, past
Kavita,
Joint Secretary for FOXI.
Kavita,
Sir,
okay. Yeah.
So we would like to hear from you a few words.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Our President, Dr. Kiran Putty, IMA President, Dr. Thakre, all the guest of honors, like Amir, a very good friend, and Saurabh Sajjanwala, and Santosh Kadam, and of course, Revati and Madan. Kiran and me, we are really blessed to have such good chairpersons and committee members. I really admire enthusiasm of Revati and thinking about this out-of-the-box topics for life beyond medicine. Today, it's very, very important because all of us are discussing in various seminars and conferences only medical topics, but nobody tries to touch these topics, especially concerning day-to-day life of our doctors. We doctors are absolutely leading very stressful, high adrenaline-based life, and to have a perfect and a good relationship with our family members, with our colleagues, with our friends, with our children, parents, and everybody is extremely important. And in that, sexual health is very, very important. Basically, life is based on trust, a mutual trust between the two partners, and that's extremely important for any relationship. So I hope all our esteemed faculty will do a great justice and will be enriched with knowledge. Thank you very much again, Revati, for giving me this opportunity, and all the best for this seminar.
Honored to have you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Dr. Madan Kamble sir to please introduce our next guest of honor.
We are privileged to have guest of honor Dr. Amey sir. He is the Senior Vice President of AMOX currently, Joint Secretary of FOXI in
Dr. Kiran
2019.
Hi.
He is the past chairperson of FOXI, Food, Drugs and Committee, member of Managing Committee and mentor Youth Council MOGS. Also member of Medical Advisory Panel FPAI. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, Madan and Revati. First of all, congratulations, both of you. I think this series is really rocking. And if we have to give you a Filmfare Award on behalf of AMOGS, I think both of you deserve it as the stars of AMOGS. On a serious note, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Thackeray for always encouraging the partnership with AMOGS, all the IMA office bearers to consider AMOGS and IMA as a close-knit relationship. My special congratulations to Dr. Kiran Kurtakoti for initiating such important programs across the state, not just across the state, but even pan-India. Special mention of Dr. Bipin Pandit and all the AMOGS office bearers for cooperating and encouraging young talent like Revati, Madan, etc., who are bringing a sense of vibrancy, dynamism, and enthusiasm to AMOGS. Last but not the least, really privileged to be in the midst of eminent stalwarts like Dr. Rao and Dr. Prasanna, who are authorities on this very important but sensitive subject. The WHO, in its definition of well-being, includes sexual health and mental health as key components. Relationship is the essence of humanity or mankind. If two people do not have a relationship, the purpose of the human being, of the society, of the community will cease to exist. We will live in isolation, and that will not be good for anyone psychologically, physically, sexually, socially, etc. So I think this is a very important aspect. Doctors need positive relationship. Patients need positive relationship. Organizations require positive relationship. And I think the country requires positive relationship. So very well thought of. Congratulations once again. And really happy to see that we are talking about such important topics even beyond our usual OBGYN. Thank you once again, Revati and Madan.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for the appreciation. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Next slide, please.
I would
Hello?
request Dr.
Yeah. Thank you, Kavita. Yeah. So it's my honor to introduce our guest of honor today, Dr. Saurabh Sanjanwala, sir, who's a general surgeon and a gastrointestinal and laparoscopy surgeon also. Along with that, he's a male infertility specialist. He has been Honorary Associate Department of General Medicine, R.N. Cooper Hospital, Juhu, and visiting consultant at many eminent hospitals in Mumbai. Sir has done, you can see he has done a lot of social work and has been on a various important post in IMA itself at the national level and at the state level. So it's honor to have you, sir. Thank you for sparing time and joining with us. We'd like to have your guidance.
Thank you, Revati, very much.
Thank you.
I think I totally agree. At the outset, our chief guest, Dr. Dinesh Thackeray, sir, our president, Dr. Kiran Kurtakoti from AMOGS, senior stalwarts, my senior vice president, Dr. Vaijayanti madam, my treasurer, Dr. Vikrant, all the AMOGS senior members, Dr. Bipin Pandit, sir, faculty of office bearers of AMOGS, and the star speakers for today, Dr. D.S.S. Rao and Dr. Prasanna Gadre. This positive relationship between IMA, MS, and AMOGS will go a long way. And Dr. Revati Rane is doing an excellent job of, keeping these two associations together in a positive way and going on with her excellent newer ideas and newer webinars. I am sure that today's webinar is going to be a very important webinar as far as doctors, relationship, sexual health, physical health, mental health. She has covered all the aspects till now. And I'm sure in the future, next year also, we will be happy to continue such type of collaborations with AMOX and give more and more such type of webinars, which will keep the doctor fraternity together and give positive vibes and vibrancy in all the associations. With these few words, I thank once again Dr. Revati to go ahead and keep up with the spirits. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you for the guidance and the kind words. Next slide, please. Next guest of honor, we have Dr. Santosh Kadam, sir. Sir's phone is not reachable. He must be busy. He is our president-elect for next year. So I hope, sir, approves this relationship and this relationship goes on. Sir is a famous pediatrician at Thane, and we are looking forward to attend MasterCon soon in November. Next guest of honor, we have Dr. Vikrant Desai, sir. We all know him as a multi-talented personality. He sings so well, and along with that, he dances well. And also, he is treasurer of IMA Maharashtra State, Honorary Secretary Association of Radiologists of Mumbai, ARM, and Mumbai chapter of Maharashtra State Branch, IRIA. Over to you, Dr. Vikrant, to say few witty comments. Hello. Sir was there, I guess.
He is there, I think, but I don't know. He's got muted.
Yeah, good. Hello, audible?
Hello, yes.
Hello?
Yes, audible and visible, yeah.
Good evening to all seniors, dignitaries, speakers, and the participants. Big congratulations to the entire organizing team for a successful webinar series of Life Beyond Medicine. All the programs are so meticulously planned and executed, and all important knowledge shared by the esteemed speakers. Fantastic work done by the team led by Dr. Revati. Thank you for having me here. Best wishes for another successful program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello, yeah. Over to you, Kavita, for the beginning of the session.
Yes. With all blessings, all guidance from the seniors and adults, we start with the next topic: positive relationship in a doctor's life. So, for this session, I would request Dr. Vaijayanti Patwardhan ma'am as a chairperson.
Hello,
Madam,
everyone. Yeah.
Yes, good. Madam is done MD and DGO from Bombay. She is an MPS diploma in common sexual dysfunction. She is a consultant oncologist at Pune, a public health researcher, a sexologist, and marriage relations counselor, which is very important, I think. Post and senior vice president at IMA Maharashtra State, treasurer at Pune OBGYN Society, and she is a writer of the medical and literary writer, winning many prestigious awards. She has been a recipient of Dr. Zaveri Award and Dr. C.T. Thakur Oration Award at IMA. Madam is also an Anandibai Joshi awardee and a lifetime awardee at the Pune Doctors Association. So many accolades to you, ma'am. Welcome to share this session. I would now request the second chairperson, Dr. Supriya Arwari, ma'am. Good evening. Welcome, ma'am. Dr. Supriya Arwari, ma'am. She is. 1 minute. Just some problem with my network. Just 1 minute.
It's okay. It's okay, Kavita.
No, ma'am. Just 1 minute. I'll just. The slide is not.
I can. Yeah. May I have the pleasure till?
Ma'am,
Yes. So she is the ever smiling Shire of AMOGS and IMA, I would say, to begin with, and consultant obstetrician, gynecologist, and infertility specialist. She has done excellent work and has been doing excellent work for adolescent health. And we hope to see you work more and more and keep us all happy and immersed in your diary. Welcome, ma'am.
Revati, one small addition.
Thank you so much.
She's a future chairperson of Adolescent Health Committee of FOXI. I mean, fourth.
Yeah, I hope. I couldn't say that officially, but we hope that.
So sweet. Thank you,
Next slide. Yeah, next slide, please.
Yeah, next chairperson. Yeah, do it. There was some glitch.
No, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Mrs. Josna Pandurang Dowle. Ma'am is from Aurangabad and she's done MBBS from Government Medical College Aurangabad, DGO from KM Hospital Pune. She's an obstetric and gynecologist and infertility specialist at Dowley Hospital and Matrutva Test Tube Baby Center at Ahmednagar. She's been practicing in Ahmednagar since last 30 years and she's been a member of Obstetric and Gynec Society of Ahmednagar, Maharashtra in India. She started the first IVF center of Ahmednagar district in 2004-2005. Delivered the first test tube baby at Ahmednagar, and she's the past president of AMOX 2016 at Shirdi, and done various paper presentations. We welcome you, ma'am, for this session.
Madam sends her sincere apologies because of family issue she couldn't join, but
Okay.
we can begin. Yeah.
So I would like Supriya Arwani, ma'am, to please introduce our speaker,
Sure.
Dr. Prasanna Gadre, sir.
It's an extreme honor and pleasure to be joining in yet another episode of Life Beyond Medicine. And at the outset, a big thanks to Revati, Madan, and the entire team. And of course, to the President, Secretary, all the office bearers that have graced this occasion. Thank you for the opportunity. Introducing Prasanna is, I think, now habit because I've heard him many times, several times, a very prolific speaker. 30 years of practice of skin and sex genitourinary medicine, faculty speaker on 84 varied topics in sexology, on various organizations, public forums, OTT. He's a clinical observer. He has done his clinical observership at UK, USA, South Korea, has a sexology podcast on Storytel, corporate psychology and HR sexuality trainer in multi corporates, authored 3 books on sexology, facilitator at the University Grants Commission on Mind academics, sex educator, therapist, counselor, expert on the YouTube. Specifically in his words, these numbers 84, 85, 86, 87, they depict sex and sexuality related various topics and subjects on which knowledge transfer to the audience was done and were totally different and distinct from each other, involving matters from evolutionary biology to humanities and sexuality and sex, from child abuse to sex in senior citizens, from LGBTQ to gender dysphorias, paraphilias. The list is endless. Porn and one night stands. I think that I have never seen such a various topics under the same umbrella. So welcome, Prasanna. Always it's a pleasure to hear you.
Yeah.
And if we can stop the slide share and maybe Prasanna can start off immediately. Prasanna, you're going to talk about positive relationships and especially pertaining to sexual health. So अर्ज किया है, अर्ज किए बगैर मैं तो आगे जा नहीं सकती. तो अर्ज किया है कि रिश्ता बचाने के लिए झुकना पड़े तो झुक जाओ, मगर हर बार तुम्हें ही झुकना पड़े तो रुक जाओ.
क्या बात.
मखमली रिश्तों की हिफाजत जरूरी है, मगर मखमली रिश्तों की हिफाजत जरूरी है, मगर मखमल है या खद्दर, रुख समझ जाओ. So I think you are here to tell us that which are the positive relations that we should, mentor or honor, and which are the relationships that we should be, wary of or stay away from. So
Sure.
the stage is all yours, Prasanna.
So the immediate answer to your question and connecting my topic to your talk and whatever talk you had for 45 minutes is that those people who are at a personality and sexuality level assertive has a wonderful relationship with another assertive person. Okay, so sexually and personality wise assertive wife will be having that with a husband. In other words, sexually assertive people and the other unhealthy categories, okay, and personality wise, that is the aggressive, passive, submissive, and passive aggressive. These are the 5 types. Let us not enter into the details. That is what was depicted in your Shero Shairi. Now connecting to my topic, well, basically I'm having URTI, so my voice will be a little bit different and I will be taking help of the H2O. So the relationship psychosocial sort of started from the vertebrates, chordates, that is Piscean, fish. The word relation actually comes from the word relatus. Latus latus, and we all know latissimus dorsi. So that is the muscle जिथे आपण असं कवनात घेतो ना, कवेत घेतो, जवळ घेतो. So that relationship comes with that word, one who is by your side. Now my entire talk will be in form of questions. So you have to ask yourself whether unmarried, you are having a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a fiance, or your spouse. How many times do you really take your wife or husband, okay, with your latissimus dorsi? And this started because the actual parenting started in fish. And in the ocean, the baby fish used to swim very close to the parent fish and just by sides. Afterwards, in the evolution, you can see it became marsupial, and then we got the placental organisms, and you are all the placentologists, okay, gynecologists dealing with placenta day in and day out. So that is the word relatus. Now, coming ahead, well, am I audible by the way?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So nothing, after saying so, I would say that nothing cannot be related to nothing because it's a meaningless statement. In other words, we should know that there has to be something. A something can only related to be something, isn't it? That means existence precedes relationship or the bond. So the second question should come to your mind: to what extent your dream girl or dream boy really exists in your brain and in your heart. आप में से कितने लोग, आप जब कॉन्फ्रेंस को जाते हो तो फोन उठाते हो और आपके स्पाउस से बातचीत करते हो, काय ग कुठेस, कशी आहेस तू, पोचलास का? Simple things, they are the indicators. Okay, so that is very important, the essence. Now imagine that here is the air, here is the air. Nothing cannot be related to nothing. So now this is my palm and this is the elbow. So are they related? No, they are not. But yes, to some extent, yes, because they are body parts of my own body. Okay, so that means when we are moving towards relationship, we start seeing commonality. The elbow and the palm, they are common with each other. But the thing is that unfortunately, it happens that the foundations of marriage, which were okay for the past, but not for the present era of liberalism, postmodernism, and individualism, matching was seen. Okay, the commonality was seen, but the compatibility was not seen. And when I was saying that existence is very important, that means, is it relevant to you? So the next question one has to ask is that, has my wife or husband become irrelevant in my marriage, or has she not? The acid test which I happen to do in my counseling or in my psychotherapies for relationship, and is with a hypothetical question which you have to answer right now. As Einstein has said many a times, hypothetical questions give you the answers of this earthen life. And the common question which I ask is as regards the relevance, okay, is that, do you feel that your partner is influencing and impacting you? The answer can be yes, or the answer can be no. And it can be positive or it can be negative. So the word influence and impact is more important than commonality. I will come back to that commonality problem again. And the acid test is that, imagine that now you are living for 500 years. तो ये जो वाइफ और हस्बैंड है आपकी, क्या उसी के साथ आप संसार करोगे 500 बरस या 1000 बरस? If and when I am asking you these questions, please answer them and answer them instantly. Okay, in your mind. That is the gut feeling. That is the true answer. If the answer is yes, and many a times those who are in real love with each other, those who are having intimacy and what I can say, the compatibility, the immediate answer is हाँ, इसके साथ मैं 500 बरस जीऊंगा. Then the next question is, अगर 7 अगले बरस आपको यही स्पाउस मिले तो हाँ, वही स्पाउस मेरे को चाहिए. That is the acid test of the genuine love. 80 to 99% of the times, but the answer is reverse. नहीं भाई, 500 बरस इसके साथ शादी, बिल्कुल नहीं. 7 जन्म ये बिल्कुल नहीं. Variety is a spice of life, man. At least for 7 lives, give me a different variety. So that is an instantaneous answer. Now, so the influence and impact words are very important. Now, having said so, what has happened? Marriages has remained on commonality. So now I will show you. So this palm is related to this because there is a common. So this is called as a matching. Okay. And the marriages are, अरे भाई आपकी कास्ट क्लास क्रीड क्या है, हमारी स्टेटस क्या है, आपका इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस क्या है, तुम एजुकेटेड हो, तुम डॉक्टर हो, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. So that is matching. But what we want is more of a compatibility. Between matching and compatibility, there is one more thing which is called as a overlap. Okay, so these two palms are getting overlapped in the XYZ axis. Now this is a perfect overlap. So what is overlap? So overlap is basically comes from, we can say, common tastes which are there. Okay, or even likings, so on and so forth. और प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाता है कि हम सिर्फ ओवरलैप में और मैचिंग में ही अटक जाते हैं, कंपैटिबिलिटी की तरफ देखते ही नहीं है. सो यू विल गेट ऑलमोस्ट 9 टाइप्स ऑफ कपल्स बाय टेकिंग 3 पैरामीटर्स ऑफ मैचिंग, compatibility, okay, and the overlaps of your hobbies, tastes, and likings. And the couple which is compatible, which is matched, and which is having overlap is going to enjoy. Okay, so that is what it is, starting from the word relators. The word relation also means to bear and to carry. The Latin origin of the word relation is to bear and to carry. So you have to carry and to bear the responsibility of the relationship. When I am entering a relationship and want to enjoy its profits, I have the duties to give. When I am taking, I have to give. And we have to ask ourselves, okay, that how much amount I can bear. Okay, simple, again, need not go in complex things. Simple, by simplification, we can understand in a better way. So, carry and to bear. Now, what is compatibility? So, the compatibility is basically, I am now on the relation. I will move to positivity, and then I will do the slide sharing of my PPT. So, compatibility is a compatibility of values. Okay, जिसको हम मराठी में पिंड कहते हैं. Okay, so a fish is not compatible to stay, and evolution knows that, and hence it cannot inbreed to stay with a bird. They are incompatible with each other. So you can say that, number one, it is the characteristic feature of the person. Okay, characteristic feature of the person, the essence of the person, with the help of which you experience and express the life. Just pertaining to the relationship, I would say that the way in which you express and experience your marital life, your bonding, and your sex in the bed. The sexual, the social, and the marital aspect, all. Okay. So how do you express an experience? And when the two mates, they are expressing and experiencing to a very large extent quite same and similarly life in general, then the social life, then the marital life, then their family, and then their bedroom and bed life, then we say that they are compatible. So it is called as a value matching. Actually speaking, right from so many years, I would say lakhs and lakhs of years, and even in crore years, because every animal likes to see or her his image, especially the humans. So when we say that I am compatible with someone, there is something called as a psychological visibility. I can see myself in you. Oh my God, तू कितने मेरे जैसा है यार, बिल्कुल मेरी तरह, तेरा और मेरा अब जमने वाला है. I am moving ahead of matching and overlaps. So that is what compatibility is. Of course, because of the time, let us not continue. Let us move to the next word, that is positive. So when we say that there is something positive, that means there has to be something neutral and there are something to be negative. So how can we say that the relationship is positive? Simple. Now start asking yourself this question. Number one, does the relationship, okay, in which you are, whether a friend, at a professional level, in marital level, in your family level, at any level, any relationship, does that relationship gives you a joy and a pleasure? Number one. So think for a while. I'm waiting for. So the answer is yes or no. Oblique. Okay, then it is a positive. Or it gives you a lot of pain and suffering. And it depletes and sucks your energy. Simple question. Okay. See, remember, friends, we are doctors. We should know what exists. Then we do the diagnosis. And then we do the therapy. And it takes 5.5 years to become MBBS, as you know. And 8.5 and maybe 11.5 or 13.5 now to become a super specialist and a gynecologist and a specialist. So in 30 minutes, it is impossible, number one. And before treating cardiac arrest or cardiac failure, we should know what is cardiac arrest and what is cardiac failure and how to diagnose it. So we should know what is relationship arrest and what is relationship failure. And then we can know how to treat it. एकदम काय झालंय माहितीये का, क्या हुआ है, सगळ्यांना क्विक फिक्स हवंय हल्ली. तुम्ही घ्या, टेक द नेल अँड हिट इट विथ अ हॅमर अँड स्पून फिडिंग. नो, not possible in medicine, not possible in psychology, not possible in sexology. So we will ask questions. So I will repeat if and you are going to ask this, ask yourself. Okay, ask your patients later, but first ask yourself. So if the relationship is giving this, the joy and energy, it is positive. Neutral, it is neither giving me joy, energy, nor sucking it. Okay. And as I said, pain and suffering. The next is whether the relationship is integrating my life or disintegrating my life, my personal life, my professional life, my marital life, and my life in general. Okay, subah sham, kachkat bhandan chalu hai, and I am unable to focus on my surgery, and some medical complication happens, and there is a Consumer Protection Act, and the root cause is I had a huge amount of quarrel with my spouse, and I couldn't focus on my surgery. So I disintegrated, okay, my life as well as my patient's life. Okay, yeah, this happens, and we never think about this. Okay, so we should be very cool. See, always remember that the 9 to 5 life is going to influence the 5 to 9 and vice versa. Yeah, so this is very important. The next thing is that is my positive, negative, is my relationship giving me all positive emotions? अच्छा लगता है? Okay. there can be an element of surprise, and romance has an element of surprise, or there is always negativity is there. Okay. And of course, I would say that apart from all these things, it is, I told you that it is giving, whether it is giving you motivation and action, and finally, where my relationship is leading, there are domestic violences. There are so many 36 figure-like fights, and people, and they hit each other. And where is the destiny of the relation? The destiny of the relation is either in the police, or at the court, or in the ICU, or in the CMO, or the mortuary, because the violence starts. Then that is the indicator. Okay. But yes, if your relationship is going on a seashore, on a terrace, okay, in some garden, and even in the room and in the bed, then it is positive. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Sexuality and it is combined. You cannot separate mind from sex and sex from mind. And the last and the most important indicator is that if you are married and if you are having children, is the relationship sort of influencing and impacting the children in a negative way or a positive way. And that is extremely important if we are having children, and if that is impacting in a negative way, then that's, I would say that it's a greater and a bigger indicator. Okay. So these are the things, and it doesn't mean that sometimes you are having quarrels and sometimes you are having fights. That means your relationship is totally positive. I'm sorry, that means it is negative. And if you are not having any quarrel, okay, then it is positive. No. Remember that the rules of mathematics, though I am stating a number line, the rules of business, the rules of money, and the rules of mathematics doesn't apply to the rules of relationship. Okay, there is nothing like all or none in relationship, even though there could be in physiology, okay, and action potential. So the thing is that yes, sometimes quarrels are needed, because always see that when we quarrel, that is called as कोई भी झगड़ा हो जाता है तो एक दूसरे के वीकनेस सामने आ जाते हैं. Okay, सेक्सुअल झगड़ा हो या रिलेशनल झगड़ा हो, कुछ भी झगड़ा हो, okay, and then we know the weakness, and it is at that times that we should always take care of the weakness and the ego of the सामने वाला person. Okay, हे आपण दोन गोष्टी जर का सांभाळल्या ना, समोरच्याचा इगो आणि समोरच्याचा वीकनेस, तर बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी सुकर होऊन जातात आयुष्यात. So that is very important. So what I was saying is that so many parameters are there, and even if you are having some amount of quarrel, take it as an opportunity to come closer to each other by knowing each other, and that is called as conflict intimacy. खूप सुंदर, it's an oxymoron. Conflict intimacy. There are sexual conflicts, solve them. Okay, understand each other's weaknesses, have some overlap, have some compromise, have some adjustment, and go ahead. Yeah. So now, after saying so many things as regards positivity and negativity, let me start sharing, because now almost 15 minutes are there, and let me have a screen sharing, but go on sort of contemplating on these answers, and even you can answer it after the seminar is over. So I do the slide sharing. Yeah. So let's move to the terrain. 1 minute. Just a second. 1 minute. Let me. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw that it was muted, unmute. 1 minute. Oh, I'm not getting the slide.
They were seen earlier.
Yeah.
Probably the slide show. Now we can see the screen.
Yeah, just a second. ये तो हमेशा होता ही रहता है, प्रॉब्लम चलता है. The gadgets are for us, we are not for the gadgets. एक minute. I'm not getting the cursor. एक minute. Where is the cursor? Yeah.
To go for making full screen, go to that wine.
Should I stop sharing and share again?
No. You just go there and click it on that wine symbol down there, bottom line.
Yeah, but I'm not getting my cursor and the arrow there.
Prasanna, you keep sharing and do it again.
Stop sharing and do it again?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
First, click. I mean, open your this presentation on your desktop.
Yeah. My presentation is actually already open, but
Sir,
I am
just
unable.
click on the slide. You have clicked on the image of trust types of terrain. So your cursor
correct.
might be not showing. So just click on the any side of the slide.
Yeah, एक मिनट मेरे को एक cursor नहीं मिल रहा. Just a second. And if it doesn't happen, then it's okay.
Now it will
Yes.
do.
Now click on
Now it's happening.
You can see it now. Yes, sir.
Full screen is not visible, sir.
Yeah, but I'm not getting the cursor below. I don't know why actually. Just a second.
So you can stop sharing and try it again because cursor is visible in between and the slide was also, full screen was also visible.
एक मिनट. Now I'm getting the cursor, but I don't know what's happening. I'm not getting it on my now I'm not getting it on my screen itself. पता नहीं क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा. बाकी जा रहा है ना?
So we can see the first slide.
Yeah,
Then you
okay.
press on the second slide, then we can see now make it full screen.
I wanted to share it actually completely, but I think there is some problem. No problem. Let's move ahead. So what is the terrain? Now, these are the different problems which we are having. Okay. Just a second. Let me move this. एक मिनट. अभी एक मिनट. Now I'm getting the cursor. Okay. Let's move ahead. Okay. Now it's not rolling. So are the slides moving? Hello?
No, sir.
It's on the
No,
second slide.
Just a second. Let me check whether I am getting the connection or not. Because if I'm audible, that means the connection is on. But I don't know why this slide is not rolling.
So can you just stop the share and can you just share it again?
Yeah.
Because your slides are also moving here.
Are they moving?
Yes, sir.
ऐक ना मी
You're on
सांगतो.
the second slide.
शेअरिंग स्टॉप कर. सगळे तू जेवढे प्रोग्राम ओपन केले डेस्कटॉपवरचे ते पण बंद कर. परत एकदाच ती स्लाइड ओपन कर, त्याला फुल स्क्रीन घे आणि नंतर मग शेअरिंग केल्यानंतर त्याला याला हे कर, सिलेक्ट करून शेअर नावाचं बटन असतं त्याला टच कर.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Just a second. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay. Just a second. I think now probably I'm getting it. Let me see. Sorry for the interruption. Now once I move there, so it got hanged, I think. Yeah. Now is it visible?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Just a second. Now visible?
Full screen नहीं है, sir.
Now visible? Full screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Yeah. So what are the problems in terrain? So these are the problems which we are having, and lack of resources and dilemmas, health issues, bad habits, addictions, financial losses, वगैरह. But I will show you the terrain and the magnetic compass. So passing by reference of ingredients of recipe of relationship, I will cover them last because of the want of time. And related to things like the common things are basically everybody has said trust. I will say something as regards it maybe at the end of my talk. There are obviously the empathy, the compassion, and the respect and the dignity, and actually the love comes the last, and then comes the intimacy. So relationships of different kinds of relationship with each other and not our relatives, although they are the most criminal people to damage a relationship of couple, and this is a paradox. How we can damage our humanity and humanness while trying to become divine or godly, not at all altruistic, social. Okay. So let us see, understanding what is my relationship with my relationship. Okay. What is my relationship with the relationship itself? And instead of spoon feeding, I would raise some fundamental questions, which I have already. Yeah. So I will move ahead. I will not stop sharing because ye jora thoda vakt gaya. So see, these are the four quadrants: my relationship with myself, with others, partner, and with success. Now, the first is self-esteem, fitness, and holistic. Okay, as regards Dr. T.S.S. Rao, will talk later. Transactional analysis, when we say that we are in relation, that means there has to be some interaction, okay, whether sexual or whether social. Yeah, transaction analysis, that is very important. And communication, because without communication, interaction, and transaction, even sexual, nothing can work. So relationship with others, yeah. Earthian matters, we will see that is related to our success. And finally, the Mars and Venus, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We should say that men should visit Venus, and Venusian women should come to Mars, and then that would be really great. Yeah. So now what next? So these are the things which are very important and they are sort of influencing each other. That is called as a reciprocal causation. One will influence the other and the other will influence the first. Now, what are the problems? So these are the problems, but the relationship problem. And as Revati had stated, I think that unfortunately we give less importance. The other problems become more important than the relationship problems. Okay, and we think that this is only important. And obviously, many a times people, I would like to say that the one of the important, and of course the last parameter to ask yourself whether the sexual or social relation between between the spouses is that, are you having any sexual and social or a familial stress? And we should ask this to our patients as well, because many a times it happens that the addictions, the root cause is the stress, and the stress is between the bond of the spouse as well as the sexual stress. And we never ask this question to the blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetic patients. कि आपका sex life कैसा है भाई? Okay. Now, just to classify relationship with patients, clinic, hospital, and staff, doctor, friends, professional, because it is related to doctor, relationships in medical association, institute, other social relations, relatives and families. Okay, doctor's relation with his own children, that is very important. And the spouse, I have told you, different intimacy levels. Yeah. And what I am going to actually focus is these issues. And when we say doctor, okay, it is not only that the doctor is getting affected. We are all humans. So even a chartered accountant, a busy lawyer, a businessman, an entrepreneur will get affected ultimately. Yeah. So 80 to 99% of the things are applicable to each and every busy profession. And 1 to 20% typicalities can be there, and which might vary from profession to profession, as you know. Say, for example, unfortunately, there is no Consumer Protection Act applicable to lawyers, as many of you have done law also. But unfortunately, only to the doctors. And we also have tension of that nowadays. So, but my stress will be on these two things. So let's move ahead. Yeah. So now I have already told you that this badly affects. If the lower thing is affected, the upper things get affected. and whether the children, are they okay? Yeah, this is the problem. And now what has happened, that the triangle has got warped, okay? And we give little importance to these things. And money, fame, power, status, ये सब मायना रखता है, और दूसरी चीजों की तरफ हमारा पूरी तरह से ध्यान उठ जाता है, isn't it? That's the thing. So, क्या हुआ वापस? एक मिनट. Again, it has got locked. I think क्या हुआ? जा रहा है आगे?
No, it's not moving.
Yeah. So I don't know why have.
Can we share the PPT, sir, if you don't mind?
Yeah, you can share the PPT. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
वहां से
Can you
हो रहा है?
send it?
I can say the next.
No, you have to share it with because Nilesh is he's the host.
So have
So
I?
you can.
वहां से कोई मूवमेंट नहीं हो रही ना, क्योंकि आगे नहीं जा रहा. Hello?
No, sir, it's
No,
not
sir.
moving.
Yeah.
Now it's moving. Yeah.
So now something called as a homotheus. So everybody of us wants to become a homotheus, isn't it? Theus is God. So everybody of us wants to, that's the fundamental problem. Now what is that? Instead of remaining Homo sapiens, I want to become a homotheus. And then what will happen in my relation? Homo fœtus, asexuous, Homo divorcificus or frustraticus, and Homo. But if I want to become a Homo romantico, sexo intimacus, am I doing proper justice to it? That's the question. And as I have already told to you, all these things would be happening. And this would give rise to these two things, sapience and intimacy is related, as somebody has already said. So now, okay. So always remember, nothing is good or bad in this life. Okay. But we should become Homo sapiens. That means a wise human. If we want to fix our sexual and social relation, choice is yours. But every choice, goal or purpose of life, that is a way of living, has an advantage or disadvantage, pitfalls and benefits. I have already told you, it's not a maths. Okay. Only success, earthy and materialistic fetish consumption, but no happiness, satisfaction, peace at a partner, spouse, family, children level. Ye ho raha hai. Fitness is in jeopardy. There is work-life imbalance. Okay. And this is what is happening. Only matching, no compatibility. Foundations and intentions of marriage are not applicable. I have told you. And see, what the worst part of the story is that our children are becoming conceptual sort of orphans. So what is conceptual? The person is only available for any kind of interaction. Okay. And the worst part of the thing is that sexless, loveless, intimacy-less marriage versus divorce. And remember, friends, okay, and the choice is मला business tycoon, okay, doc with a broken homes व्हायचंय का अजून काय choices. So these are the two choices, isn't it, between the Chila and Charybdis. And many a times it happens that for counseling, people never come when the choice is good and better. In life, they want to do a good and better choice, they will not come. If they want to do a choice between good and bad, they will also not come. They will manage somehow. But when they want to choose between bad and worse, this is the time that the counseling is required. So what has happened that today's humans want to become homotheus means what? So we want to become omnipervasive, omnichronic, omni-rich. Okay. The fear of with all, see, the thing is that it is not wrong to become a rich and a famous person, but the cost which we are having, okay, are we ready to pay? Okay. So I should be faculty in all conferences, should see all the patients, be a great share market investor and doctor. Okay, all Indian talent competitions, attend all nightclub parties. And I also want to become omnichronic. I can't be at 2 or more places at one time, but I am overpacked 24 hours, too busy, too burnt out. I am harried. And harried means the person wants to be a best father, best husband or a wife, father or mother, best daughter-in-law or mother-in-law, and best social friend. So what is omnipotent? I am a celebrity doctor, have chain of hospitals, move from metropolitan branch to metropolitan. I am chairman, president at so many levels. Okay. And right hand of health ministry and politics in who's who page and write articles. Okay. And I have immense wealth for my next at least 3 generations with 2 high-end cars, 4 farm houses, 6 dogs. Okay. And see, the thing is that, as I have told you already, that choice is yours. Nothing is good or bad. Okay. Is this bad? No, this is definitely fine. But I have said that the things have become warped. Okay. And then I am still asking that I want sex and coitus and marital pleasures and family should love me. Okay. And that means the thing is, I want to eat the cake and have it too. And I want best of all the worlds. These are the 2 fundamental problems. Okay. And our human life has really become complicated because we are trying to achieve at so many ends on so many axes. And that is practically impossible. I want like, share, subscribe, and my self-esteem, so beautiful, so elegant, just feeling like a wow, is profoundly linked with social image, power, money, materialism, pride of ownership, hedonism, and not with it is not, my self-esteem is not linked with epitome of experience, love, romance, emotional and intimacy. If I don't get both, then I feel fear, anxiety, phobia of uncertainty, and this feeling. These are the things. And I feel that I am entitled. Okay, I am entitled. And it is like a child who wants all the balloons, the cakes, and the toffees. Okay, so either we want to become a god or we want to become a child. मला सगळं हवंय आणि मला काहीच शेअर करायचं नाहीये आणि मला काही मिळालं नाही असं नकोय. आणि ते एवढूसं चाइल्ड आहे आणि ते सगळं तो हातात धरायला जातोय आणि त्या धडा 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 सगळ्या गोष्टी गळतायत. सो परिस्थिती ही आहे. ओके. सो व्हॉट हॅपन्स, instead of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. of next day. For rest 5 hours I sleep or I have screen time. I am neither geographically available to my family, to my children's spouse, because I move from hospital to hospital or city to city, or not I am available physically, conceptually, sexually to my partner in bed for sex, or even to do katta and gappa or see some program. Okay, or go for a drama with the Rasikta, with hand in hand with my wife. If I am there, that is just to have a dog-like sex or sex in a doggy style. Okay, and I give lectures on quality time, which is sheer nonsense because only quantity can breed quality. And then there is a marital discord or my spouse has an affair and I am having a casual sex or one night stand when I am traveling. Okay, and these are the facts. See, the thing is that we became doctors later. We are first human beings. So all the characteristic features which are applicable to other professions and human beings are also applicable to doctors. Okay, needless to say. And this is what the frustration is there. Okay, so then what? So the facts, what are the facts? And against the idealistic homotheus. So this is, मला इस्पिक एक्का व्हायचंय ना, सगळीकडे इस्पिक एक्का व्हायचंय आणि मग मला भरपूर डायमंड्स विकत घ्यायचे आहेत आणि मग मला सगळ्या क्लब्स मधला सहभागी व्हायचंय आणि मग तरी सुद्धा मला ग्रेट सेक्शुअल पार्टनर व्हायचंय. आला 4 एक्के पाहिजेत मला. ओके, दिस इज व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग. अँड समबडी सेड 48 hours, but this is warping of time. Sachin Tendulkar, Amitabh Bachchan, all of us, and Sachin Tendulkar had told in his 40 plus mulaqat that yes, I had to sacrifice my family life and all small and big events of family, and he is grateful to his wife, and now afterwards he is enjoying. Okay, but let us not compare with Sachin Tendulkar, but the fact is that when he was doing his cricket career, he had to miss all these things, but he had the clarity and the acceptance. So it is not that Sachin Tendulkar and Amitabh Bachchan are wrong. Okay, they are entering their profession with full clarity and accepting whatever the advantages and disadvantages of the profession are. Same thing is applicable to us. Okay. Or let us make 4 clones. Okay. So that one will, but this is not possible. Na? A doctor's clone. Maybe after 100 years, this will happen. आणि मग काय होतं, पूर्वीच्या काळी असं असायचं ना, मग मला 4 राण्या हव्या, मग एक सगळं घरकाम करणारी हवी, चूल आणि मूल करणारी, एक उत्तम बेडवरती सेक्स करणारी हवी, एक माझं हॉस्पिटल ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बघणारी हवी, आणि सीईओ मी फक्त येऊन ऑपरेशन करणार, आणि एक मग काय एक इंटेलिजंट बायको पण हवी ना मला, कारण की मी इंटेलिजंट आहे ना. आणि सेम इज ऍप्लिकेबल टू राजा. पण मग मला असं सांगायचं वाटतं मित्रांना की अरे राजा, अरे राणी, असं शक्य नाही रे. आणि मग आपल्याला काय झालंय की आय वॉन्ट टू हॅव अ हँड्रमी, सब एक्के, सब राजे, सब राणिया और सब गुलाम मेरे हाथ में चाहिए. तो ये बहुत रेयरली होता है. मैंने तो कभी ऐसी देखी नहीं इस प्रकार की हँड्रमी. So it resonates with the दीवार डायलॉग. नाउ दिस इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. आज मेरे पास बिल्डिंग है, प्रॉपर्टी है, बैंक बैलेंस है, बंगला है, गाड़ी है, क्या है तुम्हारे पास? मेरे पास माँ है. दिस इज द क्रक्स ऑफ द स्टोरी. ओके. सो मेरे पास प्रेसिडेंटशिप है. ओके. 1 मिलियनशिप. तुम्हारे पास क्या है? सो मेरे पास सिर्फ एक ही हॉट, सेक्सी, ब्यूटीफुल, काइंड, कंपैशनेट, एम्पैथेटिक, इरोटिक, लवली, ब्यूटीफुल वाइफ है, जो मेरी सेक्स इमोशनल पार्टनर भी है. सो शी इज माय मितवा, मित्र तत्वज्ञान वाटाड़ी. मेरे पास कोलेस्ट्रॉल है, बीपी है, शुगर है, ओबेसिटी है, मेटाबॉलिक प्रॉब्लम है, क्या है तुम्हारे पास? मेरे पास होलिस्टिक फिटनेस है. ओके. मेरे पास प्रोफेशनल करियर, लॉरेल्स, एक्लोड, साइटेशंस, पब्लिश पेपर्स है, क्या है तुम्हारे पास? मेरे पास हॉबीज और वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस है. See, choice is yours. Always remember, I am not telling you what is right and what is wrong. मैं कौन हूं यार? चॉइस आपका है ना. मगर ऐसा तो नहीं कह सकते ना की हा मला अभ्यास नाही करायचा पण मी पहिला आलो पाहिजे. हे शक्य नाही. किंवा मी घासूच असणारे, मी फक्त अभ्यास करणार आणि मी स्पोर्ट्स मध्ये मला यायला पाहिजे किंवा मला खूप मित्र पाहिजेत. नाही. वर्गामध्ये लहानपणापासून आपण बघितलेलं आहे, आपण खूप जर का जे मुलं खूप अभ्यास करतात त्यांना खूप कमी मित्र असतात, आणि ज्यांना खूप मित्र असतात ते निवांत असतात. ते आयुष्याचा वेगळाच अभ्यास करत असतात आणि ते बिझनेसमॅन होतात मोठे मोठे, आणि ते निवांत असतात कारण की त्यांना रिलेशन्स मॅनेज. सी, बिझनेसमध्ये काय माहितीये का, रिलेशनशिप मॅनेजमेंट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट, अँड देन दे मॅनेज ऑल द रिलेशंस. ओके. मेरे पास सक्सेस 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 है, क्या है तुम्हारे पास? सो मेरे पास ये सब है. एंड देन मेरे पास बिग इरेक्शन, वाइग्रा, मल्टीपल शॉट्स है, क्या है तुम्हारे पास? तो मेरे पास फोरप्ले है. ओके. बाकी ये सब चीजें हैं. सो रिमेंबर, टू चॉइसेस कॅनॉट बी देअर. एका म्यानात 2 तलवारी असू शकत नाहीत. सो हाऊ द पॉझिटिव्ह, या नाउ दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. इफ यू आर नॉट एन्जॉईंग सेक्स विथ युअर पार्टनर, ओके. See, now with the background, this connection is important. Always remember, हे background का मी सांगितलं, कारण की आता या स्लाइडला महत्व प्राप्त होतं. पहिल्यांदाच मी ही स्लाइड दाखवली असती तर हे काय एकदम. ओके. सो इफ सेक्स आउटसाइड मॅरेज इज नॉट डन अँड मीन्स fidelity, adultery not committed. Okay. Anything which is outside marriage is adultery, na. But then no sex in marriage also means infidelity, adulteration, and that is also not no commitment, because ultimately marriage is a license where the society has told you that you can do sex with that partner at any time, anyhow, anyway. Obviously, if it is consensuous or with the consent, it goes without saying, but it's a permanent valid consent, sort of. But if you are not enjoying the sex, then are you really committed to the marriage? That is my big question. And I ask husband and wife these questions. Sex, power, money, recognition is not easily available in market, as well as love. So then why don't you enjoy sex with the partner which you are having? दुसरी मुलगी किंवा दुसऱ्या मुलाबरोबर सेक्स करायला भयंकर कष्ट करायला लागतात हो. मग जी आहे बायको, जो नवरा आहे, अरे एकच तो दिलाय यार, मग त्याच्याबरोबर सगळं एन्जॉय करा ना. इफ यू आर गेटिंग अ सिंगल सोल, बॉडी, माइंड टू किस और हग अँड टच and lick at any place, anywhere, anyhow, at least at a possibility level without any tension, then why don't you do and enjoy that? Because in extramarital, what happens, there is always a pressure अरे अगर दूसरे ने मेरे को पकड़ लिया तो क्या, अगर मेरे वाइफ या हस्बैंड ने किसी डिटेक्टिव को मेरे पीछे लगाया तो क्या. So do you see each other in nude way? We don't see nude people on the road. How much time do you take for one sex act and how many number of times you do it? These are the questions you should ask. And why do you enjoy the sex in the first place, and how I can increase the bonding positively? Yeah. So these are very, very important things. Yeah. And obviously the last question. Why don't, okay, those who believe it's a mechanical, assess my own relation with sex before assessing my relationship with spouse. I have told you that. Okay. Why don't I like sex? Okay. Those who believe it's mechanical, non-emotional act for creation only. Okay. Then those who don't value it, those who don't care for the partner or not even the relation, and the unhealthy attitudes towards sex. Okay. These are the reasons why people don't enjoy sex with their partners. Don't have sex education, bad past sexual experiences and unhealthy parenting, and essentially they don't like to be haptophobic and hugophobic. If a woman who is loving touch, okay, apart from the emotionality and hugs, if she marries a husband who is not loving touch, who is not loving or liking the hugging, then the marriage and the sex both will not last. Yeah. So हाँ, एक मिनट, ये जरा मेरे को नीचे लेने दो. हाँ, yeah. Now the thing is, can you again move it? Yeah, now it's moving. Yeah, so these are the different reasons. Yeah. One of the important reasons is that as a rationalization to increase the distance and trouble husband and wife with vengeance. If rape inside marriage is what we now accept as a bad, so also keeping partner sex-starved, sex-deficient, and sexually manipulating him and keeping that as a power game and sex boycott strategy is more or equally bad. Sex motivation doesn't precede sex action. Sex precedes sex motivation. This is a very common thing. People feel, अरे मैं motivated हो जाऊंगा ना तभी दुनिया में कुछ चीज करूंगा या सेक्स करूंगा. उल्टा है, एक्शन पहले आती है, बाद में मोटिवेशन. इसीलिए घोड़ा जो है वो बग्गी के आगे है, बिकॉज घोड़ा इज एन एक्शन. ओके, pun not intended, isn't it? And buggy is the thing which follows. So, and which is motivation. And personality affects, yeah, I have told you. It is not that there is no sex because there is no intimacy, but rather reverse. There is no intimacy and hence there is no sex. And this is very, very important thing to be remembered. Okay, differentiate sex from emotion. And affair is both type of involvement, not only one type. Okay, which one do you think is costly? If your spouse does a one-night stand or emotional affair, and why? So ask this question to yourself, okay? And the answer to is that actually, as compared to one-night stand, emotional affair is very costly. I am neither supporting and nor objecting any damn thing over here. I am giving you a rational scientific analysis. Yeah. The reason is that whenever, see, emotional affair happens because of emotional attachment. It is not that only with the spouse we have emotional attachment. जिस व्यक्ति के साथ हमारी इमोशनल अटैचमेंट होती है उसमें हम बहुत ही कुछ इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, सबसे ज्यादा टाइम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं और सबसे ज्यादा बाकी के रिसोर्सेस इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. I and you, we are having emotional attachment with our children. Come on, that is why we give time. That is why we give resources and property, okay, and everything to them unconditionally without any sort of expectation. So emotional attachment is more costly than the one night stand. If you want to compare, yeah. What is today's women's sexual dilemma, especially those who are X and Y generation that is born? Can anybody tell? See, what I have, after taking the interview of certain women from the Facebook, Instagram, from my friends and relatives, and from other people in the social arena, especially of women, those who expose themselves on the media. Okay, now you know all this thing. मैंने उनको पूछा कि क्या सचमुच आप किसी पुरुष के साथ सेक्स रखना चाहते हो? तो 8 to 9 women out of 10 told me they are not at all interested in having sex, but they want them to sexually stimulate. Apart from things like they are interested in catching their attention and for the appreciation and for the approval of people. Okay, so that is the dilemma, that I want to attract men sexually, but I do not want to have sex with them. Again, good or bad is not important, and this statement is not at all applicable to the doctors. I am saying it is applicable to the entire, this statement to the entire community. Okay, sexual possessiveness is due to sexual jealousy, which is due to evolutionary biology and has an evolutionary advantage. Okay, more before Law and Marriage Institute came. Law and marriage came for the same same reason, that is out of concept of fairness and justice and economy of breeding and property quarrels. And the other cause of sexual possessiveness is the power possessiveness. Who has moved my cheese? Okay, and I don't want the cake, cheese and toy to share with anybody. The sadness and a miser is not possessing a spouse, not doing a marriage, or not having a girlfriend or boyfriend. Okay, but is more than the happiness of possessing them. See, the sadness and misery of not possessing is more than the happiness of possessing. मेरे पास जब तक गाड़ी नहीं रहती ना, मर्सिडीज या कुछ भी लो यार, हाई एंड कार, तब तक मेरे को दर्द और दुख होता है. जब वो गाड़ी खरीद के मैं मेरे गैराज में लगाता हूं, तो उसका जो हैप्पीनेस है वो बार बार मेरे मन में नहीं आता. गाड़ी नहीं है तो अरे मेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है, मेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है, मेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है, दैट ऑब्सेशन विल बी देयर. आई है तो कुछ नहीं. ओके, आनंद का ऑब्सेशन कभी नहीं रहता, दुख का ऑब्सेशन हमेशा रहता है. सो सेम थिंग इज एप्लीकेबल टू ऑल दिस थिंग्स. या, so what are this is the last slide. So what we should do, last 2 slides. Community spirit in doctors is far less than CAs and lawyers. Copra not applicable. Start group practice with like-minded people. This is a suggestion. This is not an advice. You know better than me. Okay. Cooperate and cooperate. Don't compete. Animals like humans do compete even for sex, but they don't compare. Animals always compare. So, a suggestion for equally authentic, sincere, competent, genuine gynecologists who are assertive and know how to separate and respect roles of friends, business partners, professional, start a group practice. Okay, leave that rural semi-rural attitude of भला उसका हॉस्पिटल मेरे हॉस्पिटल से ज्यादा भरा हुआ कैसे. सुपर फिकंडिटी की चमकार ज्यादा सफेद, isn't it? माने मेरे हॉस्पिटल में ज्यादा डिलीवरीज होते हैं. So when busyness is hospital, no emotions, commotions, manipulation, deceptions, but only ethical understanding between those 4 friends should be there. And outside the hospital, they should act like friends. So what I want to say is that now is a time where not only gynecologists, but also dermatologists and each and every branch, I suggest that we should start group practice. ही काळाची खूप गरज आहे. का? पुढचं सांगतो. All 4 do bread and butter and common practice. With one docs does infertility, one say adolescent medicine, one in sexo urogynecology, and other does a fetal medicine. All OBG experts for emergency work do in rotation. Okay. One is on call, one is backup, the third one is SOS, and the 4th one chills. म्हणजे 4 गायनोकॉलॉजिस्ट तुम्ही एकत्र आलात आणि प्रॅक्टिस सुरू केली. आपले इगो, डिफरन्सेस, कंपॅरिझन्स बाजूला सोडून तर आपण 4 जण जास्ती लाईफ पण एन्जॉय करू आणि जास्ती पैसेही मिळवू शकू. आणि त्याच्यासाठी अर्थातच सगळं सिन्सिअरिटी, ऑनेस्टी आणि ट्रस्ट आणि ट्रुथफुलनेस आणि ऑथेंटिसिटी पाहिजेच. दॅट गोज विदाउट सेइंग. फॉर नास्टी पेशंट्स यू हॅव अ ग्रुप and then people won't trouble you. Just like in laws, senses, just like in laws as well as in-laws senses a bonded couple, so also society senses or bonded doctors. एकमेकांचे इगो ठेवायला पाहिजे बाजूला and have दिल की मन की बातें with the sexy business partners and partners in sex, that is spouse. Always while starting a practice befriend and आपलेसं करून घेणं. Most powerful and influential मुखिया, politicians, press, police, lawyers, for every practice, any specialty, not for future favors, but for genuine bond, friendship, and as a social service. Take free education seminars for their groups. These 5 big will always support you in times of crisis, and mob and stone pelters will think 100 times before attacking hospitals. So, hot, erotic, emotionally joyous and energy-giving sex with your partner, love, intimacy, and nice relations. Okay, and all these things are important. भविष्याची तरतूद आपण खूप मुलांसाठी करतोय का एवढा विश्वास नाहीये का त्यांच्या कर्तृत्वावर आपल्या मुलांच्या. Our kids are not mentally retarded. Parents retard their mentation. Think of those parents who are in huts and in single room and have cerebral palsy children. Who are the real heroes then? Yeah, I will just. Yeah, so now see the left hand side. This is the matching, the social, experiential, creative, educational, cultural, so on and so forth. While the right hand side is the compatibility, and this is what is actually required. Okay, so with this slide, took 20 minutes more, but the initial as well as the middle and the later all were important. And now I'm very much eager to listen to TSS Rao sir, who is my professional friend and who I would also say that he is like a guru to me. And sorry sir for taking 20 minutes more. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gadre. It was a wonderful talk. Many new concepts, new terminologies, relationship relating to relatus, so latissimus dorsi, and that Kaved Ghena वगैरे खूप छान examples, and he coined the new words, I think, so that was great, and with so many I would say the practical tips also, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think we have time for question and answer, though we would like to have more interactions maybe in future. And
sure.
Thank you for a wonderful talk.
Because it's already nearing 8.
Yes.
Questions for this thing, we can conclude it. Maybe next time I'll join, actually, not a problem.
No, sir.
No.
Absolutely not, sir. We are eager to hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prasanna. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we can immediately proceed to the next session.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful talk. We now move to the next speaker. To chair the sessions, I invite Dr. Girish Mane, sir, as a chairperson. Sir is a past president of Yavatmal.
Kavita, skip all CVs. I mean, all chairpersons as well as everybody.
Okay. I'll just introduce the chairperson's name, sir. Dr. Vaishali Chavan, who is from Pune, clinical director at Cloud9 Hospital, and Dr. Apurva Datta, sir, the chairperson of Sexual Health and STI Committee, FOXI. So we now move to the next speaker, Dr. A.T.S. Satyanarayan Rao, sir, and I request Dr. Mane, sir, to please introduce, sir.
Actually, there are many things to tell about TSS Rao, sir. But as we are short of time, I will say he is one of the bestest psychiatrists, especially who have a lot of concern with the human sexuality. And he have delivered so many lectures, so many orations. Even I have witnessed so many orations by sir, and many books have been written by sir. So, sir, I think we are short of time, so extremely sorry. I will not take much time between you and the listeners. So please go with your talk, sir.
Right. At the outset, I'm really happy that this wonderful opportunity has been given to me, and to be Dr. Prasanna Gadre in operation is a very difficult job. But all said and done, I'll try my best to do what best could be done in a given situation like this. There are quite a few of the points I wanted to discuss, but keeping in mind the time constraint, let me confine myself to some of the common issues. And, maybe each of the things, like say when we are talking about lifestyle and other related things, are extremely important. One may talk about exercise, one may talk about sleep, one may talk about drugs, one may talk about anything. But each one is actually a big topic on its own right. Start off to introductory remarks. We are all well aware when we are trying to talk about mental health. It is extremely important that it is not one single concept where it is just an absence of disease. There are many things are there, and usual definition WHO talks about sex is not actually included as one of the important component there. But all said and done, World Association of Sexology to lot many other people have come forward and have realized this is one of the extremely important component. Mind in its own place and in itself can make heaven or hell, we are all well aware. We are extremely happy that keeping the doctors in focus, these programs have been done. Even when you are trying to talk about patients, what you get in your clinical practice, when we try to look at the problem purely from the physical angle or holistically, makes wonder of difference as far as whether the patient is happy with you or not happy with you. Okay, let us come to the idea how actually the sex and lifestyle issues are related. At the outset, we have to differentiate in the beginning itself the relationship issues and sexual issues. See, if a person is able to perform sex with one and is having difficulty with another one, this is a relationship problem. And that means majority of the issues related to that, what we need to look into. If he is not able to perform for certain reasons, any of the aspects which I go actually basically call sexual response cycle, we call these are all sexual health related issues. And happiness is one of the most important thing, and it all starts from me. There are no answers to the problems of life in the back of the book. That's what actually Kierkegaard mentioned. And wellness is one of the important concepts. When we are trying to talk about sex, we are always go with an idea that he's a patient and we are trying to treat him. Every person is capable of doing well, maybe improving oneself in any given situation, and sex is one of them. And the sex education or these programs all actually add to that particular concept. So wellness is generally used to mean a healthy balance of the mind, body, and spirit that results in overall feeling of well-being. We have sexual wellness clinics nowadays because we are trying to look at many of the aspects which is other than actually the sex itself as the primary focus, but many things which actually contribute to this particular idea. So wellness is an active, lifelong process of becoming aware of choices and making decisions toward a more balanced and fulfilling life. And that's what actually Dr. Gadre was talking about, that this is extremely important. Just another 3-4 slides for the introductory purpose. It is a multidimensional concept, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual, physical, and so also the sexual, environmental, occupational. There are many aspects which get into the picture. It has 2 dimensions. One is actually a very positive one, and the other side which is actually negative one. And that many of those red color points, what actually Dr. Gadre was mentioning, they are extremely important to keep it in mind. And what we are trying to talk about now, that wellness concept, extremely important for our understanding and our progress and happy life. When we are trying to talk about disorders, primary, secondary, and tertiary, these are all well accepted concepts in our MBBS class itself. But all said and done, just passing, what are the things we can do to prevent problems coming up? If problem is there, how best it can be tackled? And maybe the long term. That is with not only with any disorder for that matter, even with our life, this particular issue applies. Hectic life schedule and sedentary lifestyle, these are the 2 classic examples of what we basically call doctor's life. More popular he is and more busy he is, and more actually is actually costing his life in a very big way. Genetically speaking, we are all happy because God, maybe our parents, everybody has contributed to keep all our body systems in order, and we are born and there are no deficits. That means absolutely fine. Even when it is present, how best it can be actually overcome. There are a whole lot of issues. So when we are trying to talk about lifestyle management issues, we are primarily talking about many of the things which are in the environment. How we can alter, modify, that way our life becomes a little more better. When we see a case when it is having some problems and when we don't find anything specific cause, we almost go with an idea that it is idiopathic and no cause is found. That means many times physicians or maybe the gynecologists, a lot many people, they are missing something which is actually called necessary for our good health, that psychological and other related aspects. When we are trying to talk about disorders, it is a combination of multiple things that go along with that. That particular differentiation I will skip here for the simple reason that actually time doesn't permit for that. And for our understanding, two things become important. There may be a problem where we are actually trying to look at a smaller component of the life. That's what we actually refer to as what we basically call maybe anatomy, physiology, certain other functionalities related areas of disturbance. But many of the times these bigger issues, in fact, let me add another word there, the lifestyle issues, which actually determine how what extent the functionality is going on. From that angle, stress is one of the extremely important thing, and many of you have heard for a pretty length of time. I'm sure not bored by Dr. Gadre's lecture, but because it took a lot of time, almost 8 o'clock means many of you might already be a little bit burdened. To make you understand, in fact, these concepts, rather than elaborating, an analogy can be given in sexual medicine. In fact, stress when your wife is pregnant. That means it is a little extra taxing when, say, possibility or not there. Anxiety is a little bigger than that, what we basically call when your girlfriend is pregnant. Panic, you come home and you realize that both are pregnant. And depression or tragedy, when you are not responsible for any one of them. The type of emotions and feelings each one of them actually produces, it might have given you an idea, is what actually we are trying to talk about. So holistic medicine, when you are trying to talk about it, is a very broad concept. It includes maybe stress management, time management, business management, self-management, anger management, you name anything. Can anybody say what is the ideal life and what should be there? In fact, we can go by the book, what is actually mentioned, that is actually something totally different from. To find all of these things in one particular individual is actually something very difficult. And if you go by multiple YouTubes which are available, Instagram or maybe the Facebook and all, each and everyone expert talking to you about what is right, how much you should eat, when actually you should eat, how you actually should eat, to lot many other things. Ideal lifestyle, whether actually such a thing is present or not. This is one of the questions actually many people precisely ask. What one can say at this particular juncture is an appropriate integration of physical, mental, social, spiritual, sexual, environmental issues, and this is what we basically call the wellness concept. That means there has to be healthy integration of each of these things, and each of this area should be to the best possible extent. So psychology matters. We're all well aware mind-body relationship is extremely important, and one of the classic example is actually coronary artery disease. Very many young people actually dying very early, falling prey to many of these type of problems is one of the things which actually has been observed. And when we try to look at not only coronary artery disease, another one or two things like, say, maybe when you're talking about irritable bowel syndrome, cancer proneness, gastritis, premature ejaculation, maybe erectile dysfunction, there is a very strong relationship. Somebody who is anancastic, this is a technical term we use in psychiatric terminology, but when we say this particular term, somebody is very conscientious, hardworking, disciplined, God-fearing, to an extent miserly, and everything goes according to some order, fashion, and a whole lot of things. These are the people more from more out of problems actually. Somebody who is relaxed, very casual, and somebody who didn't take certain things seriously, he is the person who is likely to live for a much longer time. Let me give you an example. we had one, when we are trying to talk about lifestyle issues, time management. When we say time management, exactly according to the time things should work means it can create a lot of difficulties also. You have heard of the term coronary artery disease prone personality. We had one principal, and he was so rigid and strict that everybody has to mark attendance at 9 o'clock in the morning. I had a colleague who is invariably late by about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and he used to go out of the way to scold and show anger and all of that. One day I was there at 8:45, and this fellow standing outside and goes 10 or 15 minutes late, and he was trying to mark attendance. When I was talking to him a little while later, you have come early, why you have to go late and get scoldings? His answer was very simple. Rao, I am not upset because he is scolding me, but while scolding the way he suffers, I enjoy it. Many of our children, many of our relatives, many of our colleagues, many of our this thing may be actually doing this. We may not be even aware. So negativity is actually present all around us. Fear, suspiciousness, conflicts, negative competition, bigotry, awareness. In fact, many of these type of things one can very easily understand in any place. And one of the most characteristics we medical professionals are is actually that we are always busy, busy, busy. The comment by Zunjunwala, say, I have progressed and I made so much of money, but I totally forgot how to maintain my health. In fact, this is one of the point what he mentioned. So this is one of the warning signal for us that many of these what we call non-communicable diseases, they're all practical purposes, lifestyle diseases. They're all fully preventable if we just recognize that this could be actually done. One of the most important is actually alcohol. I'll not go into the elaboration of that. We were conducting one of these alcohol prevention related program. And on that, both husband and wife are supposed to come. And classically, in fact, the husband is alcoholic. He's been treated or under treatment. When he came, sir, you please don't consider me as like any other alcoholic. I take drinks. I come back and sleep. Wife's turn is supposed to talk about what is actually happening between these couples. Wife's turn came. She was very clear, and what she mentioned was what to do with a man who comes and too much sleeps. This is what actually alcohol does. A small amount may actually bring about inhibition and may increase, but for all practical purposes, this can be, in fact, it increases the desire, but takes away the performance. That famous Shakespearean statement, we should be well aware. Smoking is another one area which is actually such a devastating effect on our health. And when we talk about medical and psychological factors, that means alcohol, smoking, and in fact, prone for coronary artery disease, then any one of them with the personality features. This can be called as, along with that, you add one or two other metabolic disorders like diabetes, hypertension. These are called as the death triads. Very classically, we find that this affects our sexual life in such a big way, and we should be very well aware to prevent problems. And when we are trying to talk about death triad, all weaknesses of a man in one picture, what we have mentioned there, but what actually misses out is the sex component. So, overeating, undereating, eating wrong food, exercise, mental pollution, each of these things together, they contribute in a very big way. As we are well aware, when we are trying to talk about sexuality, all these healthy related aspects, physical, mental, emotional, social, what is that in relation to actually sexual, what we basically call the issues primarily related to what we basically call our overall health and sexual health. I will not go into too many details there. I'll just try to talk about sleep, food, and exercise very briefly and try to do. Sleep, maybe a little, about 5 or 6 slides are extra there, but let me see what best can be done. We are all well aware everyone sleeps. Sleep is familiar, yet still remains a medical mystery. Sex is one or more medical mystery. That means these are the two things we are talking together. The new science of sleep, a whole lot of things actually we have understood now, but what actually that Hippocrates aphorism, disease exists if either sleep or watchfulness be excessive. That means anything more or anything less, each one of them actually can create quite a bit of difficulties and individual to the problem. Sleep is the only medicine that gives what we call ease. And what we call, in fact, this is one of the Lawrence's poem. This is one of the most important things which, in fact, we look forward to. It is a godly one to get good sleep and to get up very happily the next day, do the job quite nicely. So there is a strong relationship between sex and sleep. Sleep, sex, and sexuality are important components of health in adults. Sexual health is not only physical, it involves emotion and broader quality of life. Similarly, sleep produces far-reaching effects on the well-being, critical to nearly every process and systems of the body. Relationship between them is almost overlooked, and what actually has been established, there is a bidirectional relationship. Evidence demonstrates that quality of sleep promotes better sex. Similarly, healthy sex life can facilitate improved sleep. That means this bidirectional relationship one should recognize, and in fact, that can actually add to the enhancement of the life. More about sleep and sex and some of the common grounds, I'll not go into too many details, but important point here is actually all of us have two types of needs. One called as primary needs, without which you can't live. Maybe you talk about air, you talk about food, you talk about water. Secondary needs, sleep comes under one of the secondary needs. But unfortunately, if somebody is deprived of this, it can create quite a bit of difficulties. How will come 1 or 2 minutes later. But the point is, even in presence of danger, in fact, sometimes the secondary need become one of the strongest one. What it actually means is, say, for example, someone may forego a lot of things to actually get certain things which give pleasure to the individual. And that's what actually we are trying to talk about. Sleep-wake homeostatic processes, some of the important points we should remember. Longer one awake, more sleep pressure it produces. In fact, in psychiatry, in fact, in sleep medicine, we use the term sleep debt. Your body's need is about 8 hours. You are sleeping for 6 hours today. That means you have created the debt of about 2 hours. Tomorrow, unless you cover it, this sleep debt keeps accumulating. Just like somebody has taken the loan from a bank and you don't repay it, it keeps accumulating. And this is one of the reasons many people say that this particular person, this surgeon or this gynecologist or whoever is saying, even in the OT and all, when even little bit time comes, he sleeps off. Please let me tell you, it may not be indicators of one of the very good healthy life, but it may be the sleep deprived state one sometimes may be actually talking about. Strongest drive for wake occurs late evening. Strongest drive for sleep occurs early morning. These are the 2 points we should remember. I have seen quite a few people. In fact, if they are disturbed during morning hours, there are actually 2 types of people. One who sleeps very late, one who sleeps very early. But all said and done, in your common parlance, the strongest drive for sleep occurs in the morning hours. Unfortunately, what is happening? We sit and watch. Well, what is actually being said is that our homeostat, you must set it at a lower level 1 or 2 hours before you go to the sleep. But we continue to watch TV or continue to keep doing certain activities. This would actually triggers, that leads to quite a bit of these things. Sleep is extremely important because there is a whole lot of literature available from Milton Diamond, which talks about touch hunger. In fact, this is the only thing. If you open some of the textbooks and try to read about sleep and related disorders, they will tell you that bed should be used for any activity other than, in fact, only certain activities. And in that, sex is not mentioned. But let me tell you, touch hunger is one of the extremely important, and what positions and how closely you are to partner and all can make a whole lot of these things. Somebody avoids sex when he has the need and the desire, that produces hunger. That's what actually the old theory what Freud mentioned about. And now we are all so busy with our mobiles, TV and all of that. And sometimes the laptop even taken to the bedroom, the partner is left high and dry. That's what actually, in fact, the new concept that has come up, what it basically call as cyber widow. Sleep-related erection is extremely common, and this is one actually which tells us whether somebody's sexual functioning or health in general is working all right or not. Nocturnal penile tumescence we used to talk earlier, and now the newer terminology is sleep-related erection. presence of which indicates ED, if it is present, it is actually psychogenic rather than organic. This is a recommended term and differs from related to the sensory stimuli or fantasy. In fact, I have come across some of the cases when man is having ED and he gets erection because of the sleep-related issue, and he tries to perform sex, means this is not lost. This can create problems. And you are all well aware, I have taken for granted that sleep means there is a NREM phase and REM phase. REM phase related dreams are what we basically call very colorful. In fact, it has associated movement. It is actually highly emotional charged. And fortunately, God has seen that all our tonic muscle lose muscle tone. Only 3 areas, what we basically call the eye movement related, maybe diaphragm, and maybe the penis related soft tissue. In fact, these are the only 3 things which actually function at that particular time. When related to sleep, in fact, I could have spoken for a little longer time, but I will confirm myself later. If questions comes, we will try to answer that. Obstructive sleep apnea producing problem, and many actually women come and tell that her life is actually miserable because the snoring and other related things which goes. Very high incidence of ED has been documented in these individuals. Insomnia is an independent factor for coronary vascular disease, diabetes, and depression has been established. Decreased level of testosterone, level of SHBG has been actually documented with related to what we basically call the insomnia related things. Many lifestyle issues, obesity, metabolic syndromes have been documented. Somebody is having sleep apnea syndrome. These are the people who go into that anoxic phase and that increased carbon dioxide. That is when it triggers what we call as the hunger centers, which actually leads the individual to eat much and leading to what we basically call the obesity. Circadian sleep disorders, we are all well aware. In fact, doctors doing night duty, just like say, it may be a pilot or maybe a traveler, whatever it is, this time zone sense, jet lag, very well documented one. This 24/7 culture that has come now is actually cause for a range of disorders, and we talk about metabolic, menstrual, infertility, sexual dysfunctions as part and parcel of this. Restless leg syndrome is another one. In fact, any drug which actually acts on dopamine mechanism supposed to give beneficial effect, and a whole lot of anxiety and other related factors, how actually it impinges on this is actually well known. Periodic limb movements is another one, maybe a little separate from that, but almost associated with that. Narcolepsy is another rare condition, but there are 4 specific characteristic features: excessive sleep, cataplexy, wherein actually he loses muscle tone, sleep paralysis, and hypnagogic hallucinations. High potency and libido issues have been documented in these individuals. And many of the times, many women actually complain that following sex, following ejaculation, following reaching orgasm, this man sleeps off, leaving me high and dry. I'll come to that 1 or 2 minutes later. This is because of certain specific aspects that go with that. I'll elaborate on that in 1 or 2 minutes later. Nocturia. In fact, everybody feels like getting up sometime in between, and that too more than 40, 50s, associated with diabetes and other related things. The fragmented sleep affects testosterone. Decreased testosterone leads to nocturia, has been actually very well documented, and prostate and related problems are actually one of the things which have been documented. Few people have also established the idea that frequency of ejaculations and those type of things actually determine how, to a great extent, prostate enlargement happens or doesn't happen. Few of these NREM related dysomnias are well known, actually, the sleepwalking, sleep talking, and without even realizing the sexomania, in fact, performing sex and quite a bit of difficulty. These are all few things which have been documented in literature. Sleep is not just a time out from the daily life, but an active state. This is actually one should remember. And fantasy can be poetry of sex, we are all well aware, and dreams are part and parcel of that. This is what actually Freud mentioned. What we see on the surface is something totally different from what we don't see. In fact, people who are very active, very energetic, and in fact, these are the people who see very colorful dreams and many other sexual and other related dreams. Some young people come and tell us, I'm seeing bad dreams. Actually, what he is seeing is actually good dreams. A depressed individual may not see many of these type of things. And in fact, his life may be actually black and white, even in dream. So, lot of unconscious mechanisms, only small things what we see on the surface, and what we basically call our sleep is and dreams are determined by three things. Sensory input, that means what is actually happening around, hot, cold, whole lot of things. Life situation, what actually happened, incidents and other related things which actually occupy, and the day residues. So these are the three things which determine. And ultimately, if you are, say, somebody is actually going through pleasant things, unpleasant things, even imagine somebody married to somebody, but one of the nice, beautiful film actresses comes in the dream. Our mind may not accept. This is what actually our mind, this dream sensor modifies a lot of things. And that's what Freud mentioned in his analysis, that this is what actually like displacement, condensation, symbolization, projection, many of these type of things. We are all well aware. In fact, this is one of this century bed advertisement, wherein you sleep on this bed, you will get very good sleep. But unfortunately, many of the people may be sleeping with enemy on the bed. This is what actually leads to a lot of difficulties, and all through, in fact, sleep and other related things are affected in a very big way. We are all well aware. So dream work is actually one thing we need to definitely have some idea, and it has its contribution to our understanding of the health in general. Sex and sleep, of course, there are a lot of things are there. I will not go into the elaboration of that. But one important point, what Osho mentioned, that orgasms are important. Otherwise, people wouldn't know when to stop screwing each other. Related to that, there are a lot of other related informations are available. What one can talk about, say, for example, when the study was done, no masturbation involved, light reading in bed, masturbation with orgasm, masturbation without orgasm. Sexual activities following orgasm have facilitatory effect on human sleep and thereby offer non-pharmacological alternative. Kinsey reported relaxation, sleepiness, and sleep onset as an after effect of orgasm. Sherman and Hoffman reported this facilitatory effect in males. So we are all well aware, sex is one of the very important things which actually can give such an amount of beneficial effect to the individual. There are many other issues are there, but the important point is even the hormone secretion and other related things are very strongly correlated to our sleep pattern. Oxytocin, prolactin, inhibition of cortisol. A man actually goes to sleep, many of the times this is documented, because the prolactin surge happens. And this is what actually leads to what we basically call the sudden appearance of good sleep, and individual gets into that particular mode. When we are trying to talk about sex, the touch and other related important issues, and the oxytocin release, and oxytocin as one of the responsible cause for what we call orgasm in case of females. For all practical purposes, this testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, what we talk about, these are all actually in general. As far as the female orgasm is concerned, and it is oxytocin, and any inhibited female sexual dysfunction of whatever type, one of the most important thing what actually people have documented is actually the touch. Whether you talk about the touch in general or sunset focus and such other touch-related therapies, these are all the only answers which actually have been documented as beneficial for the couple. We are also well aware that the man gets aroused very fast and is fast on the trigger, but woman, actually, she has been compared to Stree means Istri. You put the plug on, it will slowly heats up, and actually that's what people talk about. Man reaches orgasm and sleeps off means he has left me high and dry, and many of the times you know how to light the fire, but you don't know how to extinguish. This is one of the very common complaint, and many of the stories have been actually people put forward. So man is very fast. Woman takes her own time, but once she reaches the peak, she could be multi-orgasmic. She could also, in fact, very passively participate, and without reaching orgasm, all permutation combinations are possible. So sexy differences in sleep and all, like I'll try to just skip this particular area of discussion, mainly because later questions come in, so we'll try to talk about it. But the message, what it actually trying to convey is, sex is one of the very important aspects when we are trying to deal with issues. Sex, steroids, and sleep. This is what actually we mentioned in very brief fashion earlier. And different periods, this can have different effects. Testosterone, estrogen, protections are to a great extent determined and influenced by what we call as sleep. And one of the most natural form of sleep that could be, in fact, apart from lifestyle issues, the melatonin. When we give a benzodiazepine or something, drugs like that, They themselves affect actually the sexual performance, and one should be well aware of. Many of the persons actually presenting with multiple somatic complaints, aches, pains, and other related things. But one of the common term I use is actually this particular lady is not serviced properly. What it actually means is, as we are trying to talk about, touch, relationship, and other related things actually matter much more than anything. And this is one of the reasons that emotional satisfaction or personal affection is one of the very important component. See, when sildenafil citrate came into the market, everyone believed that all problems of the men and to a great extent women's problems are solved. I still remember a paper which came out of 2000 plus couples from China documented that hardly anything has changed. Why? This emotional satisfaction, what we talk about, is actually missing. And this is one of the area we can talk for pretty length of time, but I think I'm trying to convey that particular message. So women's sexuality, when we are trying to talk about, in case of man, it is a linear model. Say, start from desire, arousal, and orgasm. But woman, it takes a very roundabout way. This is actually what Basson mentioned. But it can get affected at multiple places. Whether my child's bag is ready, whether my mother-in-law is certain actually giving medicine, I gave it or not. Each of these type of things could be. Roof is leaking at the peak of spontaneous response. This is the idea that she may get into. And each one of these type of things will affect the sexual life. What actually the current meta-analysis says, with sexual intercourse situations, only about 29-32% of the women reach orgasm. It is the touch, and touch alone which actually makes the difference. And any one of these things. In fact, when you open the sex magazines and all of that, in fact, they have spoken about spoon position to 100 other things actually, which can give the benefit of actually touch to the couple in a much better fashion. And for doctors also, this is one of the important guide, very important. The second component is actually the nutrients, and we are all well aware. In fact, people concerning body image, that anorexia, what we talk about in general too. In fact, eating excessively. What is actually being said is that, particularly in the case of female sex, when put under anxiety, eating is one of the most common, what we call safety valve mechanism. You might have been well aware that when somebody fights with the husband or maybe fights with the wife, they don't eat. The woman won't eat till that particular fellow is there in the house. Once he goes out of the house, she eats too much. In fact, fridge, she may empty it off. Okay, this is one of the multiple choice question. Again, there is not much time to talk about that way. The sugars, starches, fats, salts, and binge food, all of them are actually addictive. And this is what actually the new modern world which has created. And there are a whole lot of experiments available. And the sex center, when we talk about, see, the sex center for alcohol, cocaine, heroin, nicotine, or sex, the same area. This amygdaloid and other related nuclear complex which is there around, this is actually which is responsible. And serotonin, dopamine, opioids, each one which are related to, can create quite a bit of life-related situations which can be problematic. We all love junk food. Children love junk food now. Putting on weight is easy, but getting out is actually difficult. But one of the holistic food is actually what actually prepared in the house. And if somebody can just follow, that would be one of the best things that can happen. Veg and non-veg, this is one of the area people talk about in quite a bit of ways. If you open Google, these are all, if you ask me exactly how this thing, there are few information available with certain things, but few of the things maybe actually we may not be having. This is actually Paresh Trivedi, one of our fellowship candidate, who prepared some of these 7-8 slides I'm actually now focusing. Zinc as one of the extremely important this thing, and from you infertility specialists and all of that, its role we are all well aware. Vitamin D, omega fatty acids, presence of antioxidants, magnesium, iron. There is one interesting video. I just play it actually because to some of you, if you're feeling weak, sleepy, this can actually help. Sorry, this video is not opening.
सोना सोना तू करती पर सोना जाने तेरा बोल रगों में तेरी लोहा हो तो तू हो जाए अनमोल तेरे मुंह में है लोहा तेरी लोहा है लोहा लोहा ले ओ ही ले लोहा जा अपना ही लोहा जा अपना ही ले ओ ही ले
Why I focus this particular this thing is with emphasis to be given for this. Because somebody is looking very fair and somebody is looking, in fact, they are from a very rich family, don't go with an idea. In fact, they could be so anemic. I have come across some people who are celebrities and very important people having hemoglobin level of 5 grams, 6 grams, 7 grams. Somebody with that amount of anemia. In fact, that means you have to look into nutrition to a lot many other areas and give attention to that. One more other area actually we miss out is actually the thyroid. So very important to go through some of these type of things actually, because that will determine what actually precisely happening. When you are trying to talk about lifestyle, these are all extremely important. In fact, people have spoken about foods that enhance libido. Among them, chocolate is one of the. Let me go one step ahead. You are in love with a girl and she is refusing to come near. You feed her plenty of chocolate, she will be there. In fact, one of the chemical which is involved is actually phenylethylamine. And the whole lot of issues related to that, one can talk for pretty length of time. Alcohol to junk food, in fact, stop. One of the important aspects which many people forget about is actually, in fact, not drinking enough water. Dehydration can create quite a bit of problems and one should be well aware of. Very briefly, we speak about exercise. There are a whole range of benefits related to the exercise people have documented. In fact, it improves mental health, controls weight, strengthens bones, reduces heart disease, helps out with smoking, reduces fall risk and such other related things and many more. But all said and done, when we are trying to talk about sex and exercise, they have a strong correlation and relationship. If you don't, I think my laptop is going out of charge. I'll just make it on. So there is a strong correlation between sex and exercise. So this is one of the important aspects one should be well aware of. And exercise means any activity could be fine. In fact, one of the jokes I talked about is actually cycling. I'll come 1 or 2 minutes later. You are also well aware exercise like Kegels exercise and how it actually helps the people in general, and the different exercises, how it can strengthen the body. But many of the times, what people think exercise is actually something totally different from what we are actually talking about. This is not going to work. In the same fashion, in fact, this is just to add a little bit of. So exercise is one of the very important. And this is actually hampered to a great extent now by TV earlier, and now, as Dr. Gadre was talking about, the mobile now. Anxiety, stress, sleep disorders, all of these things, and mobile is not just allowing us to do. In fact, we become so restless if we don't just have mobile, which is, in fact, one of the terminology which has been used now is actually nomophobia. no mobile. In fact, it will create that whether I'm going to survive on this particular earth is one of the most significant anxiety people get into. When we are trying to talk about physical exercise in general, so also in fact, lot of things. Just about 30 seconds, I'll play this video.
White matter in the brain. When we have conditions like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, cognitive brain decline, or even at a young age, forgetfulness, memory problems, learning, grasping, retention, it involves the gray matter and the white matter of your brain. I'm going to teach you one simple exercise where you can strengthen the gray matter, increase the gray matter, and keep the gray matter of your brain healthy. It's as simple as you need 2 balls and you juggle. This simple movement.
Not only that, in fact, any of these type of things, any movement, any activity you actually involved, in fact, that itself can produce. Mere watching or keeping oneself engaged. In fact, watching the other's wife, in fact, may look actually a little odd, but all said and done, from psychological and sexologist point of view, these are all activities which can help. Cycling. It may look little dirty joke, but don't take it that way. You press your ass and move the legs. In fact, that's what precisely called as cycling. Move your ass and press the legs. In fact, this is what actually sex. Either of them, in fact, makes wonderful change. DHEA, dihydroxyethylamine. This is one of the parent hormone necessary for both the testosterone and estrogen, in fact, both male and female hormones. And if somebody can do about 20 to 30 minutes medium level exercise per day, the chances of DHA increasing at the end of 3rd week is about 2 to 3 times. And DHA is responsible for some of the people, some of us actually, we feel happy after following the gym work and a whole lot of other related things. So in conclusion, sex is not just a mere inverted commas screwing. In fact, it is a nut bolt phenomenon people go through. In fact, both men and women are immensely capable of. In fact, men may be little muscular, but all physically, psychologically, and socially, the women are the stronger sex. And this particular reason to reach that particular level, how we keep our dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin activities, that makes a whole lot of difference. And these are the things which actually benefit actually to the individual. One last this thing, when we are trying to talk of lifestyle issues, I left out actually making money. Those who are rich, those who are poor, whether it's going to make difference. The idea which is available in literature is actually something totally different. But let me tell you.
Only on Radio Making 98.3 FM. It's on. Hello.
Hi, is that Mrs. Mahajan?
Yeah.
मिसेस महाजन, मैं पटेल बोल रहा हूँ, आपके हस्बैंड साक्षी महाजन मेरे सामने बैठे हुए हैं, मैं आपसे कुछ बात करना चाह रहा था।
ये खुद क्यों नहीं बात कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, मैं आपसे बात करना चाह रहा था। मैं आप
बैठे हैं ना सजे हुए, अब ये आप ही से बात कर ले, मुझसे तो बात करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है इनको।
नहीं, मैं आपसे बात करना चाह रहा था। मैं ये कह रहा था कि
तो ये सजे हुए वहां बैठे हैं ना, अब आप ही से बात कर ले। ये जो अगर हमारी अब बात खराब हो रही है ना, इसकी जिम्मेदार ये खुद है। और ये जो आपको अपना हमदर्द समझ रहे हैं ना, इनसे कह दीजिए कि अब अगर इन्होंने मुझसे जिंदगी में भी कभी बात करने की कोशिश की तो मैं इनसे बात नहीं करूंगी। सुबह से तो फोन करने का टाइम है नहीं इनके पास, कोई बात करने के लिए माफी मांगना कुछ नहीं, वो भी आपसे फोन करा रहे हैं और तब भी खुद बात नहीं कर रहे हैं। वहां बैठ के क्या बुत बन के क्या कर रहे हैं?
मैं ये कह रहा था आपसे
की गलती, सुबह से खुद ही मुंह फुला के बैठे हैं और ये बहुत पछताएंगे। इन्हें पता नहीं है, आने दो, मैं भी देखती हूँ कब तक बात नहीं करेंगे और कब तक ये ड्रामा चलता रहेगा आखिर।
नहीं मिसेस महाजन, मैं
इतना होश नहीं है कि जब सुबह निकल रहे थे कम से कम तभी कहते थे कि अब बात को खत्म कर दो, रात गई बात गई, लेकिन नहीं।
आपसे तो ये है कि
ये रास्ता
अभी तो वॉशरूम गए हुए हैं।
ये आ जाए ना वॉशरूम से, इन्हें कह देना मुझसे बात करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
आप भी थोड़ा सिचुएशन को कभी मतलब
अरे आप मुझे क्यों समझा रहे हैं? आप कौन होते हैं आप बोलने वाले?
मिसेस महाजन, मैं कौन होता हूँ? मैं सन ज्वेलर्स से सेल्समैन हूँ। अभी उन्होंने डायमंड रिंग चूज करी है, वो तो आपके लिए उन्होंने डायमंड रिंग चूज करी है, तो वो कंफ्यूज थे कि रूबी पर्ल डायमंड इसमें कौन सा ज्यादा मैं कौन सा इनको दूं, तो कह रहे थे आपसे पूछ लें आप क्या पसंद है।
रिक्वायरमेंट अनकट है क्या?
आप कहेंगे तो अनकट रखेंगे इसमें, आप कहेंगे तो रूबी रखेंगे ज्यादा।
नहीं, आप अनकट ही रखिए, मुझे रूबी ज्यादा पसंद नहीं है। बस ध्यान रखिएगा कि वो थोड़ा सा शार्प पर्ल्स ब्लू लगाए।
नहीं, पल्स तो उन्होंने ब्लू ही बोले, अब तो पैक कर रहा हूँ। हाँ ठीक है, मैं इनको, यस।
साहिल कहाँ है?
आ गए हैं, टॉयलेट से आ गए हैं।
बात करा दीजिए।
हाँ नताशा।
हाँ
बोलो।
कैसे हो?
ठीक हूँ।
अच्छा सुनो,
बोलो।
आई लव यू, घर आ जाओ।
Managing wife is also a lifestyle issue. Health does not always come from medicine. Most of the time, it comes from peace of mind, peace in the heart, peace of soul. It comes from laughter and love. This is what actually people learn. Whole range of stress management techniques people are aware of. Sex is one of the very important aspects that need to be nurtured and taken care of. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Vaishali to give your remarks? Apurva and Vaishali, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Rao sir.
Vaishali, you are on two instruments.
Ma'am, thank you. खूप जोरात आलं. It was indeed a nice talk.
Purva, you can take chance. Apurva, Vaishali is busy to talk with the goldsmith. You can take chance.
Yes.
That was a nice one.
So sorry, I can't get it. I think
Yeah,
Vaishali
can
ma'am.
you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Rao sir, that was a fantastic talk. Never before heard kind of talk. I must congratulate the organizers, Dr. Revati, Dr. Madan, Dr. Kavita, AMOGS committee, IMA. Such fantastic speakers we've had today, Dr. Prasanna Gadre and now Rao sir. Sir, your concept that there are no answers to the problems of life was like indeed truly fantastic. But then you went about giving us the answers to the problems of life. And your concept of wellness and how psychology matters and the various life stress, lifestyle diseases and how to manage. So overall, it was truly a talk which is going to benefit each and every person who has logged in. And we are truly enriched by your knowledge and truly indebted to you. So thank you, sir, for a wonderful talk.
Thank you very, very much.
I would like Dr. Revati to please give the vote of thanks.
Let Apurva.
Apurva sir,
Apurva
Dr.
sir,
Apurva would like to
sir,
say a few words.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
First of all, I personally visited Aklu Society, and it is such a small but such a vibrant society. I always used to tell Revati ma'am or Kavita madam or Madan sir that we all, like, I'm from a small society and we should learn from society like Aklu Society, who are so active and doing so great webinars as well as physical conference. So thank you so much, Aklu Society, for giving me this opportunity and to chair a session along with my elder brother Ajay, my elder brother Girish sir, and a very dear Vishali madam is really a wonderful and chairing session of, I consider TSS Rao sir as my guru. Whatever I know little about sexual medicine, I really learned a lot of things from Rao sir. So thank you so much, sir. It's really a wonderful opportunity. And sir, I'm a big fan of your lectures. It was really to the point and really different. It is audio visually so good to listen and to understand, and you, even with these audio visual effects now, you make the difficult topic in so easy. So thank you so much, sir, for wonderful deliberation, sir, and thank you so much for the Aklu Society and for the IMA and other participant organization. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Rao sir.
Just two things. Just two things before we conclude. One is we were talking about trust. So trust is a structural and a functional unit of a relation which comes first, and that is a predictability of the person. Number one. at a given place how he would act. And second thing, we should always remember कि रिश्तों से नहीं, नातों से नहीं, मोहब्बत से चलती है दुनिया. But to love someone and to be in love with someone, these two are different things, and please do not confuse them.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
all.
thank you.
Yeah, it was a wonderful session, Dr. Revati, Dr. Kavita, and all the organizing team. Wonderful. And thank you for making me a part of this prestigious
I would also like to say that Dr. Prasanna is an expert in the field, but he is also a dermatologist par excellence, and I have been his patient. So he is an expert in every field. So thank you. It was great listening to you, Dr. Prasanna.
Thanks for the trust.
And Madam Vaijayanti, for your information, his wife is also Vaijayanti.
She knows
No
that,
wonder.
Vaijayanti Gadre. Yeah.
Yes, I know both of them. Yeah, thank
आपण
you.
जवळच राहतो. मी मयूर कॉलनीत असतो. तुमचं आहे तिथेच जवळ. I know you.
Yeah, we've met earlier during the programs, conferences also.
Yes.
It was great. Both of you, both the speakers, really made a wonderful job. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prasanna sir and Rao sir.
Thank you.
Both were excellent as usual. Thank you for
Thank
accepting.
you all. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you on behalf of all the chairpersons.
So,
Thank you very much.
yeah, and I would like to officially thank the speakers. I guess today's take-home message was loud that gift your wife uncut diamond ring. I guess that is just for the fun. But the lectures were really fantastic. And we have, I think, with TSS Rao sir joining and with Apurva Datta sir joining, this is not only just IMA and AMOX. We have taken this lecture to the national platform also. And thank you for the involvement. Today, we have chairperson who are individually are such an eminent speakers in the field. And I have done recently an interview with Vaijayanti Patwardhan madam. It was such an educational interview on sexual relationship only. Right now, I mean, there is a YouTube link. I would definitely share that. And the interview went very well. It was telecasted on Akashvani, and we will get the link soon. Yeah. So thank you once again. It was really very interesting and a food for thought, I would say. And thanks to not last but not the least, Corona for the Core Connect for the platform. And thank you, Mr. Nilesh, for coordinating this. And good night, everyone. I think we should end the session. Yeah. Thank you, Kavita.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Revati
thank
and
you, Kavita,
Madan.
for
Thank you, and
coordinating.
Madan, thank you for your very hard work.
Thank you.
And yeah, and thank you, Madarsan, for being
And Revati,
associating.
Revati above all. Revati, thank you.
I'm always there, ma'am.
Yes.
For a MOX and IMA. Yes.
So I'm
चलो अभी
ending
Good
the
सब लोग
night.
session.
अनकट डायमंड खरीदने जाओ.
Yeah,
Bye,
but the lectures were
everyone.
really,
Yeah,
yeah,
take
thank
care.
you. Thank you. Yeah.
We can stop the
Good
recording
night.
now.
Yes, yes.
I'm ending the session.
Okay, good
Yeah,
night
yeah.
and thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.